So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. How about a motion for the minutes of the September 16th and the September 23rd regular meetings?
Yes, Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the September 16th, 2025 and the September 23rd, 2025 regular meeting.
And I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Any citizen wishing to make statements during the discussion of any item must first be recognized by the commission chair. After being recognized, that person should state their name and the name of any organization represented. Statements should be limited to 5 minutes. Please silence all phones and electronic devices. Recording the meeting is allowed, and the commission requests that anyone using special recording equipment be seated in the back row to avoid creating a distraction during the meeting. We have no old business, so we go right to new business, which is item A, Proclamation 2025-16, National 4-H Week. And we have Michelle Barron, Cottonwood Extension District, Barton County, and says we'll be joined by other people. So Michelle, would you like to introduce and take us away?
I would. Thank you so very much. And I'm going to ask Ben and the kids to go ahead and come stand with me here. Michelle Barron, Cottonwood Extension District, to provide a brief update about some 4-H activities and make a really important introduction. Oh, yes, scooch in there together so that they can get your photos. We just finished the Kansas State Fair, which means the 4-H year is ending and the new 4-H year begins October 1 tomorrow. In Barton County, we have 7 community clubs serving nearly 150 4-H members. Kansas 4-H offers 50 projects, and each project area includes communication, leadership, citizenship, and career options. I'll introduce a couple of our ambassadors in just a moment, but first I need to introduce our new 4-H agent, Ben Sims. I'm not leading Extension, but will step into a role as a family and community wellness agent with a focus on family resource management, in particular, putting those 20 years of banking experience together, teaching an awful lot of financial literacy. So I'm going to let Ben introduce himself briefly.
I don't have really much to say. I just want to say I'm glad to be here. My wife grew up in Wilson, so that was our reason for moving back. I've been in Extension for about 3 years as an ag and 4-H agent over in Greenwood County, so I'm glad to bring that experience here and be a part of this community. So if you guys have any questions for me or anything at the end, feel free to reach out. So thank you.
This past spring, I had the honor of chaperoning 4 accomplished young women to the National 4-H Conference in Washington, D.C. While we had the opportunity to tour the monuments and the National History Museum, meet 4-H members from 38 states and 4 territories, the delegates had a more important task of addressing one of 15 issues and presenting as a team to one of the federal partners. These included HHS. I was with a group that presented at the Pentagon on youth mental health, in particular for military youth, to the Forestry Service and all kinds of different areas. So it was a pretty neat experience for them. And Melody Brady, who's one of our 4-Hers from right here, was one of the delegates who was selected by the state of Kansas 4-H to attend. So I'm going to let Melody talk for just a second.
Hi, I'm Melody Brady. One of my favorite state events is KYLF, where I was selected to be on National Council, as a delegate. And it is my favorite because you get to meet youth from all over the state who are there because they want to be there and they want to learn about leadership. At KYLF, we get to elect our state delegates for the year, and we get to know who has been selected for a national delegate.
Next, we've got Samantha Negard.
Hi. My favorite part about 4-H is the many opportunities and different projects, from foods to animals. But my personal favorite project is performing arts because it transfers so easily to many activities that students are able to do just in their schools, whether that's through dance line, cheer, band, choir, theater. And I found that it really transfers well, and it's taught me multiple things like speaking, public speaking, writing proper speeches, and just being confident with myself. And so I'm really glad that I joined 4-H when I did.
And Samantha was one of the many kids who presented at the state fair to do a demonstration presentation, public speaking, and received a purple, if I remember correctly, on that presentation. So that's a good thing. And all four of these young people are our 4-H ambassadors. So their goal is to share about 4-H out in our communities. So another one is DJ Wyant.
I'm DJ Wyant. I'm in the Eureka Homesteaders 4-H Club. I'm part of Junior Leaders and the Ambassador Program. I like 4-H because we help with youth, and we do a lot of public service kind of activities. And I like 4-H too because it's helped me a lot with public speaking and it helps with leadership.
Thanks, DJ. And last but certainly not least is Russell Kern.
Good morning. I'm Russell Kern from the Ellenwood Energizers 4-H Club. My favorite project in 4-H is the Foods and Nutrition Project because I have led multiple classes and helped out with others. And this has helped me win national awards and scholarships. And I think 4-H is a great opportunity for everyone.
Great job. Russell mentioned a national award. He was named by the Home Bakers Association, which is a national organization, as the Youth Educator of the Year earlier this summer. So pretty cool honor, and we're excited about that. 4-H is often associated with the fair, and all of these 4-H members are very active volunteers and participants. Working with the Barton County Fair Associations is one of the rewarding parts of Ben and I's job. They're community partners, just like a rec center, a library, or a school, to manage and host a very large event that is a showcase for 4-H project work. You may also see some promotional information coming out about some fundraisers from the 4-H Holding Board. This group was established in the mid-50s, 1950s, in charge with the management and upkeep of the 4-H educational buildings, as everyone knows them, the old 4-H grounds, which continue to be used for 4-H club and council meetings, 4-H day camps, archery practice, and much more. So I don't know if they apply for a facade improvement grant. I'm just going to throw that out there. But they are working on doing some fundraising. They've been doing a lot of maintenance and upkeep in the last 12 to 18 months to make sure those buildings are in better and better shape. We're always on the lookout for project leaders and volunteers. There is a process, for serving as a registered 4-H volunteer, and it's an important part of risk management. Volunteers that help for a day or two or a specific event, such as 4-H club days, or to share their knowledge with a particular project or area over several months. We'll be evaluating project records on October the 6th in case anybody wants to join us. We do that with about 6 other counties, and we'll be meeting in Rice County that day. So if you have some time that Monday, let Ben and I know. Thank you so much for your continued support of 4-H in the Cottonwood Extension District and our Barton County 4-H program. Are there any questions for us?
Questions? I just want to say that 4-H has always been near and dear and close to my heart. So I enjoy seeing all of you young people here today. And I know what it's like to get up and stand and speak in front of all of us. So great job. Great job.
Yeah, well done.
Madam Chair. So I'm like you, 4-H is near and dear to my heart. I want to tell you guys, you're all very good speakers, and that is something that will carry you through life. So many kids can't get up and give a report or give a speech, and also you'll be like my boys. My daughter-in-law is very happy with 4-H because she doesn't do any of the cooking. My son does it all, and the other son took sewing and things like that that boys don't usually do. But they had rocketry and dogs, and I mean, there's just so much that you can do that even though I remember the dreaded books that we had to do and things like that. But now looking at the boys, they wouldn't trade their 4-H experience for anything. So I'm proud of you guys, and you all did amazing.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more with everything that she just said. So can't follow that very well, but you guys, I'm proud of you guys and all the work that you do. And the Barton County Fair too is tremendous. It was interesting going out there and seeing everything that had been put together. So good job.
Michelle, have you seen a change in the number of kids enrolling in 4-H? Like you said, 150 countywide, is that right?
That's probably up a little bit, and that does include our clover buds that are 5 and 6. We are starting to see a little bit of an increase. It is slow. From the state level, the state has put out a real push to try to raise over the next 5 years 4-H enrollment by 10%. That sounds like a lot, but when you consider the multitude, when I was in 4-H, you did some rec ball in the summer. And you didn't play sports till you were a 7th grader, maybe 6th grade, depending on your school. And so there are so many other competing opportunities for young people. And so I think that definitely impacts what we do. And it takes a lot of balance for families who have 2 or 3 or more kids that are in any of those activities. It is a lot to balance. And I certainly understand and am very empathetic with a parent who's trying to figure out best opportunities for their family because it is very much a family activity.
I definitely think that sometimes everybody gets focused on the fair,
Mhm.
but there's so much learning that takes place throughout the year. And there's so many skills that they learn other than just how to show a pig or how to
Mhm.
show, and those are very labor intensive and very cost prohibitive to a lot of families. So
Very
lots of other
much.
projects that aren't a large animal.
Right. Yeah. But still have some definite investments. You know, if you're actively involved in a foods project and you're taking that to the next level, all of those foods ingredients are not inexpensive. If you're investing in a camera and things for the photography project that you may use long term, or a nice new sewing machine because you started out on grandma's machine and it's time to upgrade because your skill level has improved, those are definite investments that have to be made. It's not like buying a steer or, you know, or a gilt, but it definitely is a considerable investment in those project areas. And again, the time, that's a big thing with it. County Club Days is always in February, and that's our opportunity for young people to practice those public speaking skills. And it takes, to do it well, like anything, it takes practice, it takes planning, and it really takes some organization. And those are skills of themselves, life skills that we like to talk about.
I'd like to add too, I think we're seeing not only in this community, but I know Greenwood County where I came from, a lot of young families. That the kids are now getting to 4-H age. It's just there's a large number of them. So we're trying really hard to promote to that. We're at Wheels and Squeals recently here at Barton Community College. Michelle and I spoke with a lot of families that were interested in joining. And then we're also partnering, us and Ellis County both, with some of the local schools to put out promo flyers to all the kids in K through 5 that are getting into that 4-H age and maybe even a little bit above, to join 4-H, just the different projects they can do in the clubs, and also a push for volunteers too. So we're really excited about that opportunity, and the schools are working with us on that. So
You guys touched on one thing that I think people should know. It's for family. It's not a daycare where you drop your kid off and they're gone for an hour, or I enjoyed that doing 4-H with my boys, and it's not, and you don't have to live in the country. We lived in the city, and we didn't join for a long time. So we thought you had to live in the country, and so that's important for families to know. It's so good time, and get the electronics away and spend time with the family.
Motion.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I move to adopt proclamation 2025-16 National 4-H Week.
I'd like to second that.
I'll second. Oh yeah, go Sean.
It's all right.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you all for being here.
Tell me when.
The picture of the old, you mind? Yeah.
We've got one that for sure needs to get back to
Well,
school.
we better get them back. I know they need to.
Stick around longer.
Take a minute to take a picture.
They're like, speaking about surviving on the table.
Squeeze in. You want me in the middle? So, but maybe just have the kids come up and there you go. Intermingle or in front of us or?
Yeah. Just gotta squeeze it between them so we can kind of,
Yeah. It's like, I don't know.
hook people up. There we go.
Hustle.
Okay.
There we go. There we go. Got you guys.
That's all right. So much. Appreciate it. Yes, thank you for coming.
Yeah. Send me one too. We will.
Okay, so we move on to item B, the lease agreement, Murphy Property with Road and Bridge Storage, and we have Chris Shards, County Works Director, to provide us with details.
Morning, Commissioners. The Barton County Road and Bridge Department wishes to extend the current lease of approximately 2.4 acres in the southwest quarter of section 6-T19S-R14W, and to I guess make that make sense. It'd be west of Heiser, about 1.75 miles. It's one of the pit we use to store sand and park equipment. And this year we're actually using it to sand seal out of. It's one of our remote pits that makes it closer for the sand sealing, so we don't have to come all the way back to Great Bend every time. So it does help alleviate time and cost to come back to Great Bend. So that's currently leased from James Murphy, and it is suggested that the updated agreement be extended to October of 2030 with a payment of $1,500 per year. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that you guys may have.
This is a pit that you had for lots of years.
Yeah, for a long time. We tried to figure it out. I even talked to James Murphy about it, and it was actually there before he owned the land. So we call it the Dyer lot. That's what we use at the shop. And I think the Dyers owned it at one time, and that's why they call it the Dyer lot. So it's been quite some time.
It's kind of a location, it's kind of in the middle of your sanding and sealing.
Yeah. So when we do the sand and sealing, we do it by quadrants. So we have a pit in Odin, we have a pit in Ellenwood, we have a pit in the northwest. It's just west of 281, kind of northwest of Hoisington, and then we have this one that's west of Heiser, and it just helps give us a little central location to where we can haul a lot faster and get the sand and sealing done a lot faster.
Motion. I'd like to move to approve the lease agreement with James Murphy for approximately 2.4 acres in the southwest quarter section 6-T19S-R14W. Annual cost of $1,500. Be paid from the Golden Bridge Fund, right-of-way line 002-92-6270.
We have a second.
I'll second that.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, then we have item C, information technology VMware licensing. IT director to provide us with details.
Morning, commissioners.
Morning.
In 2023, we did our server refresh and we installed a piece of software on 3 of our new servers called VMware. That piece of software allowed us to build 10 additional servers on top of those 3 physical boxes. In 2023, when we did that server refresh, that software was $1,100 to renew that. In 2024, that cost was $3,200, and then in 2025, we got our renewal for over $17,000. After visiting with SHI, who we got the quote from, we said, that's kind of not acceptable. What's the reason for this hike? And what we learned in the process was VMware was acquired in 2023 by a company called Broadcom, who has essentially eliminated a lot of the mom and pop licenses like what Barton County utilizes. And so they're really focusing on enterprise licensing. And so essentially that's why you saw the price spike. SHI was able to get us a lower quote of $16,856.64. I reached out to 4 local vendors here in town, and they're not even able to sell the software anymore. So essentially they eliminated their licensing, some of their licensings, their resellers, and they're really restructuring their entire company. So in order to keep our servers on and going and keep them updated and give me support for the next year, I had to approve this purchase. Do you guys have any questions?
Do you think that there'll be options, down the road to explore and see if there's any?
Yes,
other-
and I've already started down that process. So if I would have had more than a few weeks of notice of this renewal, we would have done more things, but we're pretty much between a rock and a hard spot right now. So I've never had a piece of software increase over 5 times for a renewal. So I've reached out to other local entities too on how they're handling it. So I have a few different ideas on what we can do. So, yes.
It's like you were between a hard place. There wasn't a lot else we could do other than just buy it and go on.
The other thing too is some of those servers are law enforcement and very critical to our county operations. So, yeah. Our day-to-day function would be very jeopardized without that licensing and that support.
I appreciate that you're already looking into options so that we don't have to renew it next year for 16,000.
Yeah, there'll be some expenses, but yeah, we'll investigate that.
Madam Chair, I'd move to ratify the purchase of VMware licensing for $16,856.64 from SHI. Cost to be paid from the courthouse general account of the general fund dues, membership, and subscriptions line 001-185455.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, item D, executive session. I see no reason for that. So move to ending business. After new items are heard by the commission, the following items, including announcements, will be heard. For announcements, we have following close of the agenda meeting, the commission will consider the authorization of personnel changes for classified positions, sign any documentation approved during the agenda meeting, and sign any other documentation required for regular county business. Similar action may take place throughout the day. Although subject to change, the following appointments have been scheduled. 9:45 are the close of the agenda meeting, the planning session with media consultants, 10 a.m. regular business discussion with Matt Potsner, County Administrator, 10:15 conditional land use permit for proposed Next Tech cell tower with Judy Gorham, Environmental Manager, 10:30 proposed regulations for the wind energy conservation systems regulations, Judy Gorham. At 10:45 vehicle needs Wendy Prosser, County Appraiser, and 11 a.m. we have a leasing property and legislative policy statement with Patrick Hoffman, County Counselor. Travel 389, all these businesses are located in or the immediate vicinity of Great Bend. At noon, we're at BTI at 145 Mylon, at 215 Next Tech Wireless, 230 GB Tires, 245 Bauer Computers. 3:15, we are going to swing by the Great Bend Tribune's Women's Expo. And then at 4 p.m., we are going to go to Walnut Bowl. So we have a very full afternoon again. So the county edition of KVGB AM Thursdays 11:05 is Sheriff Brian Bellendier, scheduled for October 2nd, 2025. So with that, we have any discussion items? From any of the commissioners have any discussion items? Okay, not today. So citizens or organizations, and I see none of those. So the commissioners are available to the public on Tuesdays during regular business hours. One or more commissioners may be present in the commission chambers conducting county business throughout the day on Tuesdays. Commissioners may individually schedule personal appointments related to county business at their discretion. And the next regular meeting will be at 9 a.m. Tuesday, October 7th, 2025. Does anyone want to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.